Well, check it out. The winner of last heat. This guy is hyped. Ricardo dos Santos. Congratulations, brother. Tell us about that heat. That was a true pipeline battle.
Yeah, it was pretty hard, especially because I never had the priority. So those guys started like just pushing each other like super deep, and I didn't want it to go 5 of them. I was just thinking about get 2 waves really fast and wait for a big one. But at the beginning I got that fun one, and after that was just battle, like trying to get in position again to get another one.
Now,
it's pretty hard.
Ricardo, you're world renowned for being a hard charger out there and big lefts. When you're looking at the waves, are you thinking mainly lefts, or are you also thinking rights?
I'm also thinking rights. Everyone expects me, like I expect to see.
Wow,
getting
look at
like
this.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Call this wave, Ricardo.
Yeah, that's like a super good one. I was looking for that one as well, but never came to me. And it's a lot easier for me to go left than take the risk to go right.
Right on. Hey, it's a pleasure to watch you out here at Pipeline, and congrats on that win, and we're looking forward to seeing you throughout the rest of this event. Right on, brother. You want to say hello to your friends and family back at home?
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for the support, and yes, valeu galera que tá torcendo por mim. Fico muito amarradão aí de passar uma bateria aqui em Pipe. Tenho estado aqui por 3 meses, então essa bateria veio como um resultado que eu vinha buscando durante todos esses meses de preparo. Estou muito amarradão de continuar avançando e representando bem o Brasil. Valeu.
Obrigado. All right, congrats.
Yeah,
well,
Ricardo.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Congratulations.
I just did get official word handed to us that Ricardo advanced, but he advanced in the 2nd spot with Corey Arambidi in the top spot. So still advancing, and it's great to hear from him anyway.
Yeah.
Now, Kelly, so you're looking out there right now, conditions-wise. If you were out there, would you be looking right or looking left?
I would be looking everywhere.
All over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be
really
either
cleaned
looking
up.
really happy or bloody. Either best ways of my life or really great wipeouts. It's amazing how hard everyone's charging. You know, guys you've almost, a lot of people probably never heard of. Guys, a couple guys I've hardly ever heard of or recognized or seen out here, and they're just charging and putting themselves in such critical spots. And it's exciting to see. It's not like you got 2 or 3 or 6 guys that charge pipe. Like all of a sudden everyone's charging.
Yeah, there's 120 guys ready to go.
Yeah, they're all ready to go, and everyone's, a day like this, people are ready to make their name, and there'll be some of those guys. There's the, the classics you expect to do well, the Reefs and the Johns and those guys. Obviously, anything less than a good performance for them is going to be a letdown because there's such good waves out there right now, and they're all putting in good performances. But I mean, look at these things from here. We're just seeing these peaks come in. That's not even a wave anyone caught, and on most days that's a pretty good wave.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's really all time. It doesn't have quite the west if you're going to be critical, but it's gotten so glassy, and it's right on the boil. It's right. I mean, you could already be on this thing out the back just weaving. You could have gone right and then come back, gone left, and just had so much fun.
Oh, look at this. Someone's
wave.
going on the inside here.
Oh, John.
Oh,
Sick.
boy.
Sick one. Look at this thing.
Wow.
Oh.
Right into the pit. God, he's just playing with it out there.
Yeah. And,
I'll tell you what.
He's up in that 9s. He's just going to get a whole bunch of 9s in this heat.
Nine.
Probably 110.
I mean, you were sitting down at your house, I'm sure, earlier today looking at it, and what's happened from earlier this morning till now to get waves like this
I called
is
they
insane.
shouldn't run this morning. I actually was looking at it going, guys, it's going to be terrible. I didn't see one good ride in an hour before they ran. And then it got, look at this.
Look at this.
The
Just
line he
holding his
took,
rail.
he just cleared his head from the lip, and then he had to let go of the rail to transition onto his toes, and then he couldn't turn down too much. And look at that drop. You can see his off the wall angle. He just is next to that boil, right where you want to be. Bounced right there.
That was like a bulldog right there.
He's just
it's
holding
like riding
on.
a Bronco.
Holding on, and right there he just tucks it up perfectly right where he's at home. John's been at home in that position since he was about 13. And yeah.
So what do you think on that score? Is that his best one?
I don't know. It wasn't his deepest one. I think his first one was deeper, but it was so well ridden. And if you see where he took off, he was a little bit outside where he would take off on the little smaller ones.
Yeah.
And it was almost like there was a little bit of a roll, and the top was cascading, trying to chase him down. But there was kind of What do you get there? 9.7.
9.73.
There you go. Well, it just had to do with how critical the whole thing was.
It had to have been because it was really just inches
Why don't you
from
Instagram
pulling up
that right now,
under the
Coach?
lip. So John Florence is sitting on 9.3, a 9.53, a 9.73. There's 14, almost 15 minutes remaining.
I mean,
so exciting.
I mean, when you look at this, he's setting the bar right now.
Oh, he set the bar. It's already been been set. Reef set the bar, and John has
broken
just
the bar.
Did he just reset it?
He jumped over the bar. He just went, okay, Reef.
With a hula
come get
hoop.
me. And if you look at the wind from the beach angle now, you can see there's a little touch of south coming into it now. It's almost slightly going into the rights here at the beach. Out to sea, there's still a strong trade wind, but here it's swirling around the mountain. You're getting a little bit into the rights, which almost goes dead offshore, which is just the best wind you can ever have out here. It's almost in the doldrum behind the mountain here.
Yeah, it's like a little local kind of.
Yeah, like you get a few of these
variables
spots,
almost, right?
Yeah, a few of these spots will get that local wind here, and down by Chun's, they'll get a different wind over there some days. But I mean, the swell's just dropped a little bit. The interval's shortened up. You can see well, you cannot see the wind there.
The flags are not moving. So out in the heat right now, situation at 13 minutes, 50 seconds. Out in the lead, John Florence, a guy we all have heard of. We all love John.
Watch this next one.
Second
Keep your
place,
eyes peeled.
Sidney Gumedes from Brazil. So like you were saying, the undergrounders coming out here and they're making their name for themselves.
We need to see Parker right now. Another goofy foot, young
look
goofy
at this
foot from
thing.
California.
Who is it? In
Who
blue.
do we got?
Oh
Boy.
Oh.
Well, that was Sidney Gumedes trying to make his name for himself, and out the back, Parker Coffin and Poncho Sullivan. So
yeah, this one's got a weird little angle to it. It's gone. A couple of these sets are swinging out of the north. You can see there's a set breaking on the outside right now. It's way on the east side of the reef on the outside, so those tend to be the north sets. And if somebody happens, John's going to have a look at this one. This is coming way out of the north, coming sideways, but he knows
he's out of there.
He doesn't want to deal with the risk. Is not worth the reward.
Getting pounded.
You feel that electricity every time John stands up. It's like, what's he gonna do? And when his heat was coming up, you kind of felt like a little energy just zip across the beach when he walked down, and he definitely hasn't let us down.
Well, you know, Kelly, how you were talking about, people making a name for themselves. Like on Sydney's wave, he was the deepest out of the group, and it was just turn and go. There was no like, oh, I'm going to let this one go by. It was like, it's now time, and charged it.
He charged it. But, that's where you're going to, with situations like that, he's got a broken board, that's where you're going to see the difference in the guys out here. Let's see who's on this one. Who's in white? It's a late drop.
A late drop.
Oh, Parker
Looks like Parker. That's Parker's first wave. That one's going to hurt.
Might be his last wave.
Was that his first or second wave?
He had just one takeoff earlier, but we got to scan the horizon and make sure he's all right.
He's up. His head's up.
I know he was talking to the boys at the house right before the heat. Riddle was just going, hey, man, you just got to put that head down and go.
Yeah.
100% commit.
That was heavy right there, because sometimes you can take off on a really gnarly one here, and you know it's going to bottom out. You know you're going to free fall, and you have two choices. You can either try and stick the drop, or you can just bail out and pin drop it through the bottom.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that.
Get underneath the wave. I had a good wipe out last week out here, and we got cut off.
No warning. Still going. This is a busted stick, Brad. Oh, Brad.
How funny are the Drew tunes, dude?
And you can see, is that who we got? Yeah, we can see Sydney's all the way down the beach. He's got a fresh board, so he'll be paddling back out. He's got plenty of time left, but Parker's got to get a good one under his belt here.
But I was saying I had a double up one like this thing last week, not a giant one, but real thick, meaty, short, smaller one, and I just pin dropped and went right through the bottom, and I was fine.
It popped out the back.
Yeah. But had I tried to stick that drop, I'd have for sure gotten hurt.
Well, you blow your knee out.
Parker,
that's half the thing.
Parker tried to stick that thing, and there's a difference, and you can see that in guys. If they try to stick it, they know they need that wave, and they know that they either make it or it's a disaster. You potentially get really hurt on those ones, and you got to hand it to Parker. He's a young guy. He hadn't surfed big pipe a lot. He just manned up right there, put some hair on his chest, as Shane Doran likes to say.
Well, he knows. I mean, he's got a stacked heat, and waves are on. They're firing, so it's go. It's go time for all these guys.
Ponch, and this is kind of the classic Poncho style.
Oh, is he coming out of this? You know, he's playing a smart heat. He knows how. He
Look
knows
at this.
what's
John
happening with
John.
John, and right
Watch the
behind
slow
him, look at
takeoff,
this.
up the face. It's
he
perfect
coming out?
position. He's coming out.
Of course he's coming out. Well, all he needs really here is 2/10 to better his score. So, John
You
Florence.
know what? Is this just another day after school or what
This
for
is
this
just,
guy? I mean, basically.
John just went to work at his office, and here's the replay. Just take off so late.
Yes.
So glass.
Perfect. That reminded me a lot of the 10 he got in pipe in 2011. He kind of took off on a high one that wasn't really in on the reef, got that high barrel, but then he came in and got the second double up into the sandbar barrel. So it was a very similar first tube on that one. And Poncho, this is what I was going to say. This is kind of the classic Poncho wave. He likes to get that long bottom turn and then just stomp on the tail and just put himself in position.
And slow down, get on the brake.
Yep.
Well, he's surfing a smart heat right now. He knows. You know, John John's got a commanding lead, and he's fighting for second place. He's got 2 good waves under his belt right now.
Yep. He's just trying to stay in the poker game right here, and get those scores. But at any time, watch a big right come. Poncho stick a 10 any day of the week, no problem.
Well, we're looking at scores dropping in for John. They're looking in the excellent range, of course. Well, obviously,
Very close to the excellent range.
Way out front. Gumera is still in that second spot. Poncho just needs a 4.08, which I believe he will get on that last wave. And Parker, for that horrendous wipeout, just getting a .63.
That's
the hardest
deflating.
6.3 he'll ever get in
That's
his
deflating.
life. Well, Parker has, he's a young guy, so, he's got the pressure of stepping up out here. He's been thrown in as the Vulcan wild card. And
look at this.
Look at
You got the replay again. Here's Poncho, just strong off the bottom, stall, little break.
I'm
barrel.
watching Kelly watch these waves right here. This hurts, doesn't it?
Good solid wave for Poncho. And here we go. This is John John's last wave. Just another day after school here.
We're gonna see.
I'm gonna
Kelly Slater.
I'm gonna
storming up the beach.
channel my inner Dave Wassel for commentary here and say these are wrist slitter sets.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's the deal. Next year, let's just sign you up. Let's just get you signed
Can
up.
you sign up right now,
And if you
or-
make it, great. If you don't,
I'll pay double the entry fee right now just to get it in
well,
early.
I heard you were having a little discussion with Mr. Alex Gray.
I sent Alex some pretty hardcore text messages.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be honest. He told me he wouldn't give up his spot for the world. He goes, no way. I got to go out there and I'm going to go get barrels.
I'll tell you.
I needed to do that early this morning when it was choppy.
Exactly.
Gross,
With that wind and everything.
I'll tell you who's really trying to rub it in right now. John Florence. I don't know if he knows you're in the booth tonight, but he's got a 9.97 now.
That's the only reason he's doing this.
Oh, yeah. You're giving him the mana right now.
He's just doing this because he's my neighbor and he's rubbing it in my face.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Has nothing to do with his expertise out here.
Oh boy!
Look at this.
I can't believe how glassy and just light wind.
There's a set feathering off a second, but you can see if that was more west, that thing would be rideable
Over
from
a
there
little
all
bit,
the way.
yeah.
Instead, it's just going to clean up the single guy surfing by himself over there at off the wall, channeling his inner Todd Chesser, who Todd would always surf off the wall by himself. And if you ask the lifeguards even today, they still say the biggest barrels ever ridden and off the wall were by Todd Chesser.
On days like this.
He would go on days like this, and when no one's even going right, and Todd would go over to off the wall, and that was his thing. He was always a crate, and he'd sit as close into where it's breaking as possible. So a set's coming, and he would just be laughing as it's breaking over, and you could hear him from the pipeline just like doing this funny laugh.
Every time you see a wave break over there at off the wall on a day like this, it reminds me of the very opening wave momentum when the wave crashes into whiteout, and that reminds me of Todd Chesser jumping under some of those waves.
That was shot with a Phantom camera, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was a little pre-Phantom on tape. Well, Poncho actually moved up into that second spot, so this is kind of like Poncho at the beginning stages of John John's career was one of his coaches, helping him along. So you can bet they're both out there just like smiling and laughing at each other.
Why did I teach him that?
Why did I help him so much?
These guys are stoked. They're all getting good
Showed him the
waves.
wrong tree lineup.
We got about 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Chris Cote here in the booth with Richard Wolcott and Kelly Slater. Tight rows from way back.
I met this guy once.
Yeah, you guys know each other.
Yeah, when did we first? Oh, we first met. Yeah, when we were out in Quicksilver days.
Wooly. Yeah, for people who might not know our little history.
All right, well, we have a paddler right now, and it is Sydney
Sydney in
Guimaraes.
the third spot. He's trying to better one of his scores here.
I love that these guys, none of these guys who make it to the event, because it is such a privilege, nobody is going to give up.
No.
Look at this thing. Look at
and they're
Poncho.
fighting. Everybody's
Poncho's
fighting.
And it didn't get that little.
Well, I think for Sydney, he knows that Poncho's got, two decent scores sitting in second. Sydney's sitting on a 7.07, and then he's got to better this 1.8. So, he's hungry, and he's still got a little bit of time left. So anything can happen for that transfer spot right now.
Well, Kelly, we're privileged to have you in the booth here. You live right up the street. Thanks for walking down. So, as you've seen,
Don't tell
this
the tax
contest,
man I live in Hawaii.
I'm not going to tell.
I live in Florida.
You live in the Cayman Islands. So,
But you have a pool.
Pool.
Yes,
Pool.
you
But
have a pool.
it's not a. You know what? It's tiled, so it wouldn't actually be a very good skating
It's not
pool.
skatable,
Can't
but you
skate
can. It's got deep enough deep end to do some nice backflips off the roof.
Oh yeah, you can jump off the roof, but you got to sign a waiver.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
I think Volcom made a waiver.
Yes. We have waivers for this contest too. It's like this is like jumping off the roof.
This is
but I'm
worse than
not
jumping off the roof.
But I'm not sure this is as deep as your pool.
I took my friend's 10-year-old kid off my roof the other day with me, and I doubt I would take him out here at Pipe.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
But
Jeez.
what an exciting turn of events for the day. I mean, if you still look out to sea, it's just there's a lot of white caps. There's probably 20, 25 mile an hour gusts out to sea. But right here, we have just stuck behind this little doldrum behind the mountain and gotten lucky, and that's why Pipeline's Pipeline.
And do you think it's because you know how maybe the land heats up and something happens to do with the heating of the land and maybe kind of creates a little bit of an offshore wind inside of that wind on the outside?
There could be a little of that. I mean,
I mean, something's going on here.
I would guess, gosh, that was a good backdoor wave. No one got a little 4-footer. But I would guess it's just the shape of the mountains back here in the valleys, just a little bit twisting a local shape, like buildings in a city or something.
Yeah, a little local weather pattern we've got going.
Local, but
Marty Thomas was saying that you've mentioned before during eddy swells and things like that when you are sleeping the night before, you get a feeling in your gut telling you what the waves may or may not be like the next day. What were you feeling last night hearing how big it was out here?
It was noisy. It was hard to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. But I actually thought it was going to be a little bit bigger this morning than it was. I think it peaked pretty quickly overnight and dropped off pretty fast. It's definitely dropped quickly today. I mean, they're still giant first reef waves, but, as big as you're ever going to get a first reef wave kind of thing. But it's, yesterday was, in the afternoon, was all those third reef wash-throughs, and pretty much every set was a wash. I wanted to surf really badly and didn't see a good wave, so I didn't paddle out.
I thought the golf was a little better.
Me and Wooly had a little golf session. Oh, nice. Yeah, we were getting to that. Wooly, for people who don't know, prior to starting Volcom, he worked at Quicksilver. And we made a movie called Black and White. And that was really Wooly's idea, his whole vision to make a movie. It was, I think originally it was going to be like a little 5 or 10 minute piece, right?
Yeah, it was just a little 5-10 minute piece, and slowly we kept getting good footage, and we're like, wait a minute, this thing could be bigger.
I turned pro right then, and I won Trestle, so then it was like we kind of had a little storyline going.
So he actually woke you up that day before Trestle,
He
right?
did. I stayed on his floor. There were
with my cat.
It's the morning of the finals.
There were cat droppings in that Newport.
You know what? It's funny. I have a lot of people going, "How come you let Kelly sleep on the floor and you slept in the bed?"
Because I was a Grom.
Yeah,
that's
what happened.
You made him sweep the floor right after.
You're not going to sleep with me in my bed.
We got 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. John,
wow.
You know what he just did. Poncho's in the second spot. Guimaraes in the third spot, needing a 3.29. Parker Coffin having a bit of a shocker, but he's still charging.
I will say the difference in this heat, and obviously John's done what he's done. Poncho's played the smart heat. He didn't have the best waves, but he's put himself in the best position he could. I think if Guimaraes knew the wave a little better, I think he would have been able to pull out a second place. He's missed a few inside waves that were really good, especially some rights that he was too wide for and wasn't looking at. And that wave he fell on, John would have made that wave.
Oh yeah.
And that's and John's a freak. Yeah, he knows the wave better than anybody.
But all in all, for Sydney, a great experience for him out here.
And he the other thing was John was deeper on that right that Sydney got.
Yeah.
John I was surprised he backed off, but John already had 2.9 threes or something.
Yeah.
So he's kind of he's not, and John's not the kind of guy to go out and try to be real competitive and snake you and keep you off waves. And you know, he's reliant enough on his abilities.
On his own kind of approach out there.
He knows he can go out there and pull the best out of that 30 minutes no matter what.
Yeah.
And so
well,
this will be interesting right here. Here's one of these little rights. Snap. And Poncho could find this little right here. I wouldn't be surprised
right
if...
at the buzzer. Let's see what we've got.
Oh.
Parker
yeah,
Coffin.
Parker
This is a good
got
little
one.
nugget, maybe.
Come on, Parker.
Oh, he's
Probably
angry.
he's probably frustrated. I know
He's frustrated,
wanted,
but
he
you
wanted
know what?
to do better.
One thing everyone remembers is he charged a giant wave in that heat.
Well, this is the John Florence Heat recap. He just filmed a video part out at Pipeline.
Look at that.
And,
Classic. That's classic pipe surfing right there.
He improved
Parker.
incrementally on every 9 that he got.
Look at this. The perfect line.
There's the bucket. That's the bucket
That was an
Bronco right
imperfect
there.
line.
How
Oh,
he
that was-
stayed on that, man.
That was
Wow.
awesome.
Insane. Well, we got more heats to come from the Volcom
Poncho.
Pipe Pro. Thanks you, Kelly. Wooly, we'll be right back after these messages.
There's so much opportunity for the intermediate and growing surfers.
Oh yeah, the North Shore has every variety of wave you can think of. Places like Buena Point on the inside where Uncle Brian teaches his surf lessons, or Hans Hedeman Surf School down there at Turtle Bay.
And here at Turtle Bay, we're blessed with lovely waves right around the hotel, get quality surf and quality water time.
Turtle Bay is your gateway to the North Shore.
We are back. We are back at the 2013 Volcom Pipe Pro live, coming to you from the beach here at the Bonsai Pipeline. And we just saw a tube spectacular. Out in the water right now, we have Josh Kerr, Alex Gray, Nathan Florence, Jeremy Johnston. Another banging heat, and the swell has not decreased.
No.
It's just compacted onto that first reef.
Yeah, and now you're watching John's brother, who is not far behind him. John has a little more experience because of years, but Nathan and Ivan absolutely charge anything that the ocean throws their way, and they know this reef as good as anybody too. So this will be interesting. Nathan was a little deep on that one. He had to go. There's a little section of reef we've talked about in the years past. A little deep section of reef, kind of a little gully right in the middle between, kind of where the boil is basically. And if you take off too far on the sunset side, the east side of the peak, you've got to go through that thing, and it kind of fattens up and gurgles, and that's what he had to run through on that wave.
Well, check it out. You probably know this dude. We want to say hello to Juan Ashton.
Juan
and the crew
Ashton.
at Mango's
Juan.
Surf Shop in Puerto Rico.
Juan's my
They're
boy.
having a rager down there. If you're in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
go over to Mango's and
Juan.
have one for us.
Juan, how are you? Juan and I had a heat in 1990
Just
in
one-on-one.
Barbados. No, we made a final together. When
1990. You're
I
going
was-
way back right now.
it was right before I signed with Quicksilver, and we were in Barbados, and the waves were massive, and Juan won that contest. I got second place. And,
How old were you?
I
Probably
was
17?
I was 17,
17,
yeah.
yeah.
But Juan he's always been such a, I'm going to blow you up here, Juan, but he's just got a classic style, a la like a, Tom Curran, Fabio Gouveia, kind of real smooth surfer. Always been a great surfer. And
He's got a lot of gold medals too in the ISA contest.
yeah, I think he's won a couple there.
He's probably feeling good.
Yeah,
The party
Juan.
now, everyone's cheering for him.
And I got all those emails about all the St. Martin stuff. You guys look like you had a good time down there.
All right, well, let's take a look out at this heat
Watch
right
the
now.
next wave. Somebody's gonna.
Here we go.
Somebody is gonna
Back to the
put their head down and
And
stick
we've
the
got a
nose in the
stacked
wave.
heat. I mean, look at this. You got Josh Kerr, Alex Gray, Nathan Florence, and Jeremy Johnson.
Who's it gonna be? Who drew first blood?
It's your bro, Alex Gray.
Alex.
All right.
Step on the brakes. Step on
Woo!
the brakes. Look at this thing.
Nice. That was like a hairdryer.
Hair dryer.
So Kelly was trying to get Alex.
That could have been your wave.
Well, I'm gonna try to ask him to put a dollar amount on that wave because I already tried. And that was.
How much did you offer him?
He was telling me there's all sorts of. You guys had all sorts of texts.
Oh my gosh, that's
beautiful.
That's
a beautiful
pretty.
wave.
That's sitting pretty.
Like, that's one of those credit card commercials. They're priceless.
Well, good way to start the heat.
Here goes
right
Nathan
on the inside.
Florence. A deeper barrel, smaller wave, but a deeper barrel, and he just gets blown out the end. That was really sick.
That's your buddy Josh Kerr.
Oh, is that Josh? Oh, I was
think
looking
you had
at
a
the
heat with him
board.
a couple months ago.
I was looking at the board color, and I thought it was Nathan.
Yeah, Josh is no stranger.
Josh?
No stranger to the pipeline.
Oh, we're going to go to
right.
John John, but I will say Josh is one of the best front and backside barrel rider combos in the world. He's great.
No doubt. Well, on the beach right now, John, you got Chris, Kelly, and Wooly all cheering for you. And, man, you got 4 9s.
Do you have any questions for us, John?
Johnny boy.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to explain yourself right now.
Talk to us. Was that just another day after school or what?
I don't know. The waves are pretty perfect right now. It's kind of, I don't know, when those big peaks are coming through and there's no one out, and they're in the spot, it's kind of hard to go wrong.
It's hard for you to not look at pipeline, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to even watch heats right now.
I'm going to give you a what would you rather do. Would you rather?
Oh
my
brother.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. That was unbelievable.
wow.
That's what we call a teepee.
My brother charges harder than me.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that wave, but I'm surprised he flipped around. He was so late. But did he make that? That was a 10. I was gonna give you a what would you rather do. Would you rather give me your spot so I could surf, or cut off a toe?
Cut off a toe.
Dang it! I knew it.
Well, John,
look at this.
Kelly's been trying to get in all day here, but what a performance!
Commentate
oh
this
my
one
gosh.
for us, would you, John?
That was a really good wide sandbar. Just
Wow.
perfect barrel. They just
Josh
sit
is
in.
fixing his shorts. I mean, these guys like getting their hair blown drying. I mean, they're dressed pretty.
Well,
here we go, another
oh
back
my
door,
gosh.
ready to party.
This is the fourth guy
Alex
in the
Gray.
heat. So now we can actually talk to you.
I'd cut off 2 toes.
2 toes. all
2
right.
toes.
So are those in a heat? I mean, how many good waves? Did you get 4 9s?
4 9s.
Have you ever gotten 4 9s like that? In
Yes,
the heat?
he has. Don't ask that.
Okay, I mean,
He's
yeah,
had
it
like
could be.
6.
Okay, it could be. I don't see. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about getting 4 9s today?
I'm
It's a new year, John.
I'm super stoked. It's just we woke up this morning and it was a bit bigger and it was kind of messy and kind of looked like it could clean up, and I didn't really think it was going to clean up this well. And before I went out for my heat, it just looked like it was firing. And when you're out there with 4 guys and there's this many waves coming through, it's kind of a special feeling.
Yeah, it definitely seems to turn on just for some guys like yourself today, just now.
Wow.
It was, but it turned on for Reef's heat earlier. And did you watch that?
I actually saw one of Reef's waves when I was getting my board together at my house, just through the trees, and it was pretty crazy.
He had a really cool ride where he kind of dodged the lip to get around it because it was kind of feathering, and then he just barely snuck his head under it. But it was, it was almost. He almost got his head sort of taken off.
That was the one I saw.
If you had dropped in too much on your big one in that heat, you probably would have gotten your head taken off. But you took that high line, and it kind of sat off the reef for a second, and let you sneak in, and then it really opened up.
Well, you guys are neighbors. You can talk about this stuff all day. We got a lot of waves to watch out there. John, congratulations. You can go root for your brother.
You don't want to talk to John right now?
I always want to talk to John.
We're going to talk to
whatever,
next
Chris.
We got waves to watch, and you got to cheer your brother on. So congrats, John Florence.
Yeah, buddy, good job. That's
Congratulations.
sick.
I'll meet you for coffee later.
Okay, bye.
Don't come by my house.
I'm gonna yell over your fence.
Don't come over there.
That's your neighbor.
He was swimming in front of my house. Cote was there.
With like a bath?
Oh, I tried to
tried
kick
to
him
run me
out.
over.
I tried to kick him out.
And he made Ross Williams snake me.
Kind of like Caddyshack? Oh, no, you can use the pool. Use the pond. Pond or the pool? Pond.
Last wave of red. Look at this little wave. Such an easy entry, and then watch this thing scoop out, and all the meat is right there. And
right
that's
on the reef, spinning.
I'll tell you what. That's not the big giant pipe barrel, but that's a classic pipe wave right there.
And came out behind the spin.
Those are the channel ones. Those are the ones on your way back out. You got to always keep your eye open before they hit the sandbar, and those are oftentimes the best way to get in a session.
They seem like they
look at
thicken
this.
up
Let's
then
talk
on the
about a little
inside.
bit about what's going on in this heat with the scores. I mean, you can see Alex here. He's got 2 decent ones. Josh has got a.
Josh has 2 decent ones. They haven't scored that one yet. That's why the judges wanted to see that again. He's got a 6-3 to start, which gosh, I thought that was maybe better, but
And the one
he just got is better than that
we didn't
6-3.
see, we don't have to score that.
But his first one, that right he got, was perfect too.
So we've got
look at
Oh,
this.
boy.
Look at the toes. Barely got the railing.
Oh.
So that was Nathan Florence right there.
Lucky he didn't break his board
And
right there.
you know, I hear John all the time say his brothers charge harder than him, and I wouldn't normally agree with him on pretty much anybody, but his brothers,
Nathan's
you know,
not really.
they charge.
As we just saw.
Yeah.
Well, you can bet the Florence household has had a fun last 25 minutes, and right now I think Alex is probably up in the treehouse on her computer watching, cheering for Nathan. She's a huge fan of her sons, obviously. But what a great crew they have. You know, that whole little group that they have. I'm sure they harass you all the time, being your neighbor. But Koa, you know, Eli Olson, Nathan, John, those guys are setting a standard here on the North Shore.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got, you know, they just got that vibe. You know, you can see that they're all feeding off each other. It reminds me a lot of our crew of the Momentum generation, and then the Jerry Lopez house before that. Those were really the guys that set the bar at Pipeline. They taught everyone how to surf Pipeline. And, you know, we show up every day, and there's Johnny Boy and Mike Ho and Derek Ho and Dane and Jerry, and, you know, you see all these guys, and those, now that future crew that's John and his brothers and their friends. You know,
There was
New
school,
Kieran,
preschool.
Generation, every
Look
generation,
at this thing.
huh?
Watch this wave. This is a smaller wave, but watch if you can get the line. Oh, just got stuck at the top there a little.
Little kind of wedge. And look, we got the other score that came in from Josh.
Yeah, an
8.1. And then Alex in second. Alex is going to have to get busy if he wants to keep on to that second place.
What was that?
That was dangerous. This is, you know, a lot of wipeouts I see out here, and the guy's fine. This one was a little funky. Like, Josh got his head stuck in the lip. He's right back up. He's all right. You know, right away if they're hurt.
Got the replay right here.
When
Look at this.
he went to jump, he got his rail kind of caught a little high in his butt, and then the thing just.
That's not good.
Oh, that's not good.
That was not good, especially how he almost did the splits right there.
It looks like the wipeout he had at the Pipe Masters, kind of the same thing. And you look at it, a guy like Marcus Hickman, you say, that guy's tough. But Josh Kerr
you don't think he's tough?
As tough as nails.
He's tough as nails.
I mean,
he goes.
He had a crooked neck, and he paddled back out of the Pipe Masters, and now see him.
Yeah, that was in my heat. He beat me.
Well, the same thing.
Yeah.
The same,
Sorry,
and the same thing with his ankle down in Fiji, right? Didn't he blow the ankle out again and taped it up, went back out?
And he's a badass. I mean, Josh Kerr.
Josh. You cannot underestimate Josh in pretty much any waves.
That's right. And the Pipe just recently he beat you.
Well,
and that was a big heat.
Oh, he knocked me out of the title hunt. He beat me in the first event of the year at Snapper.
Yeah, you see Kersey on the screen right
he
there.
rung his bell on that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Josh changed my whole year.
Now, have you guys? Did you? I'm gonna get. I might get. I'm gonna get deep right now.
Right.
Did you? Now, what kind of conversation did you have with him after that? Was it all on the
With
table?
Josh?
Yeah, with Josh.
After the heat?
Yeah.
He actually paddled in and didn't shake my hand, and I waited till he paddled back out. I said, "Don't ever beat me like that again, and not shake my hand. I'll fight you."
You guys worked it out.
We were laughing, but I was just bummed because I just lost, and he was so excited to get off the beach and see the boys that he just forgot about me. I'm like, give me a little hug here or something, man.
I'm a little sensitive right now.
But you know what? I got to surf by myself for a while. It was cool. But no, I just want to go down swinging if I go down. And Josh surfed great.
Yeah.
He got the good wave in that heat. The one good wave that came, I fell on one that probably would have won the heat for me, or at least put me in contention for the heat early. And I don't ever put the blame on someone else besides myself. I could have caught that wave he got, but I didn't choose to battle it out with him to start the heat. And he had the position. He was, he clearly, Parker was his horse in the race, and he being Australian, he was there to back Joel and try to help Joel win. And the Hopgoods had two chances at Joel, and neither of them could take him down. So it's the way the cookie crumbles.
The way the cookie crumbles.
Say,
It's a battle.
Well, you talk about.
But you've won plenty of battle, my friend.
I've had things go my way a few times.
You talk about surfing against Josh Snapper. Did you send your entry sign on the dotted line to surf next year? Dang it! Can I ask?
Yeah. Do we still have time?
Can we still ask you that? Can we
I think-
restart asking
here,
you
I-
that?
You know what it is? For our World Tour events, we're automatically entered, so I'm never thinking about that deadline a month ahead.
Right.
And for here, I had
this.
Christmas on my brain and that whole thing, and to be honest, the last thing I'm thinking of when we finish our last event of the year is another contest.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was just out of the mix.
Okay, well, next year,
You have Woolie's cell phone.
next year, I've got my list of things to do. I'm going to make sure
Send him
that we
send him a
talk
Christmas card
that you get in there.
with his entry thing in
Well,
there.
I was starting to butter him up yesterday. I gave him 3 bottles of wine. Come on.
And I forgot them.
Yeah, he left in my house.
But
That
I
shows
need-
you what an
but-
alcoholic you are.
See? I have been drinking.
Look at this wave, guys. Here we go. Let's get back
Okay,
to some
let's get
action.
back to some surfing.
Okay,
Somebody
10
go,
minutes
Alex.
remaining. Alex Gray.
I love you.
Alex, here's another one.
That's really...
He was
See,
dreaming of this. Come
just
on, Alex.
outrun the thing, but God, what a perfect pipeline wave. I mean,
It's a nice kick out, too.
a great kick out. Alex is a really stylish surfer, and I'm
What do
sure
you think? Is that
most
going to
people
better
know.
than 3.9?
Most, yeah, that's probably better than 3.9. But you know, his first wave was the 4.8, I think.
Yeah.
Right, and it was the same thing. It was a big, perfect. I mean, look at that. You see that picture and go, "That's the wave of the year."
That's a poster.
And the difference is being 5 or 10 feet
Yeah,
deeper.
yeah, but
And
lots of style.
He knows it. He was trying to stall and brush off the speed, but the funny thing was, where he was taking off, it was almost impossible to take off
Could you
enough
be
speed.
deeper? Could you have been deeper?
He could have knifed more on an angle. He probably knows that, but from where he was, he couldn't brush off enough speed without getting pitched.
Yeah.
To get down the face and then slow down.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't get that bottom turn and then stall back into it and slow down like, you know, what I was saying, Poncho does really well.
Yeah.
That was more of maybe like a frontsider's wave. Or
I was
like
going to say, would it have
you
been
know,
easier frontside?
maybe, or like,
Or
you know,
deeper?
John and Bruce were really good at taking off in a steep, like at an angle,
Yeah.
just cutting like a 45 across it in a line, and you know, judging going down the wave and down line at the right speed. You know, it's kind of an art just to be in the right spot before the wave hits. So you never quite know. A little bit of luck. You got to be deep enough and sort of look like I might not make this one.
Well,
Yeah,
it looks
well,
like Alex again paddling for this
talking
one on
about
the inside.
positioning. Look at this.
Well, he's going to
Here
want
we
to
go
get
again.
deeper, and he's gotten
Looks like
deeper.
he's got a
but
nice deep one. Is he coming out?
come on, doggy door that thing.
Oh, wow.
Who's out the back?
He just wanted to get barreled. Now look at this one.
It's a little too much north in this. You'll see it kind of getting small real quick down the line.
Looked like Jeremy Johnston having a look at that last one. Wow, more sets. It's like it just does not stop here at Pipeline.
No, and if you can see on the screen, Alex did better that one of his last waves.
Nathan
And,
Florence.
Nathan, he'll just pull in the
nice little
closeout here.
wedge.
You know, unfortunately, it didn't stay open for him, but Nathan and Ivan, when he was 14, went and surfed in Outer Reef a few years ago, and he caught like a 15, 18-footer at 14 years old on an Outer Reef. And
Insane.
he had to straighten out, and he ate it, and his board hit him in the face.
Oh yeah.
And he
yeah.
got
Saw about
it
this.
poked him
Read about that.
through the cheek into his mouth, had a hole through his mouth, and I was staying right by where he came up on the beach, and I went down and I took a picture. I said, I know you're not going to be happy about this now, but later on you'll really like this picture.
Right.
And he was sort of laughing by the time he
Did
got
he go
done.
get stitches?
Yeah, he went, oh yeah. I think he got some cosmetic and something, because that was a really nasty looking wound. But, you know, charged it.
You know what?
It didn't scare him.
No, you know what that
It
is?
gave him confidence.
You got to pay to play.
Yeah, and he knows that. Those guys know that. They grew up, you know, when they were 5, 8 years old, they were swimming and you know, swimming in the surf that was this big already. So they're comfortable. They grew up, you know, body surfing with Mark Cunningham and hanging out with the lifeguards, and you know, Petey Johnson's basically been kind of showing them the ropes since they were little tiny kids, since they were born. So.
Well, speaking of outer reefs, no one surfed the outer reefs like this guy. I'm talking about Sion Molosky. This is Give Like Sion. So every hour on the hour during the Vulcan Pipe Pro, we'll be giving away prizes to honor the Sion Molosky Memorial Fund. And board shorts, sunglasses, surfboards. This is just a really cool thing that Vulcan's doing throughout this event. And the winner is, well, Jeremy Johnston's winning right now.
Yeah, he is.
Nice little inside joiner.
wedge. Trying to find it.
Dare I say, though, waves that size aren't going to cut it in heat like this. And he, you know, he probably knows that, but he wants to get something so that if he takes off and gets a 10, and then he's got that small score, that might move him right through. But
well, right now the situation stands: Josh Kerr out in the lead, Alex Gray in second. Nathan Florence just needs a 6.16, which he is more than capable of getting. And Johnson really only needs a 5.70. So Alex needs to back up one of his mid-range scores with something in the 8, 7, 8
he's only
range to be
sitting
safe.
on a couple of high 4 scores. So.
You know this guy, Kelly?
No, but every other winner I've seen online was from Florida. I was like
North Bend,
waiting
Washington.
for someone from
Yeah.
Cocoa Beach. John
Washington's
Bowen.
they've been having a great winter.
Congratulations, John Bowen. A very special award, a special prize to give like Scion to benefit the Sion Molesky Memorial Fund. Well, we have 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining.
We've got waves out the back.
3 surfers in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot, needing mid-range scores to get through this.
This is a good little wave. Oh, he couldn't get in. There's kind of a lurching backwash on that one, and the barrel was a little tricky, but it's pretty hard.
That's the name of my new band, Lurching Backwash.
That's
Lurching
awesome.
Backwash.
That's a, yeah.
One thing we noticed, we were talking about last night, Kelly, and even this morning, is the backwash. But the backwash seems to have kind of calmed down.
Oh my gosh,
Kelly!
I just had a little conniption. I can't believe Josh didn't go that wave.
Are you going to be first out there when this contest ends for the day?
I'm actually going to get fined. I'm surfing the final.
You're going to have to get through chemo and spam to get out there. So
yeah, I know.
So anyway, I got a question for you. What do you think happened to that backwash that we've seen? Is the sand finally gone, or was it the tide change? But there's definitely not as much bump as there was this morning.
Yeah, I actually heard Wassel talking about that, and my opinion of the backwash differs from Dave's, I believe. He was saying it's from the wave before pushing back out.
Yep.
It's just from a steep beach, I think. That thing hits the beach, and it takes about 3-4 waves for that backwash to hit, and it gets back out there. But there can be, look, right now there's no sand, and there's backwashes a foot high coming off the beach. So those can still reach out there, and a couple of them have when there's not a big wave before the set.
Yeah,
you know, if there's a big wave before the set, it'll dissipate them. But look at this backdoor wave. See, no one's snuck over there yet, but there are gems. That one's actually moving into off the wall. Speaking of which, look at the left and off the wall. If you can see it, it's like
it's hard to see it on our
perfection.
screen, but it is looking beautiful right now for this last part of the scene.
That's a poster right there.
That's
Put that on your wall.
I'm going to take a picture and
of the poster.
Put it on my phone.
All right.
Look at this one. Here's a poster for you, ladies and gentlemen, right here, paddling out the back.
Alex Gray, ladies and gentlemen, on his
living the dream, standing tall. Come on, Alex.
Oh,
that was sick.
Just caged. But man, when he released his rail, he was going 40 miles an hour.
I know he was dreaming about this last night.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think anyone knew it was going to be this good.
Yeah,
the direction wasn't a classic pipe direction, and you know, you'll get those real classic right and left peaks when there's about a 14-second interval, 14-second interval, but the waves were still so big that it washes out. So you wouldn't be expecting this. Plus that wind had a tendency to go a little north, and now it's actually gone east-southeast. And even the chop out to sea has started to lighten up, so the wind is definitely starting to tack back more and more offshore as the day goes on. The swell's dying, I would say sort of quickly, but it's still, there's still 10-foot sets, and it's still like, big enough to where you probably wouldn't want to surf off the wall more than for a couple waves.
Yeah.
You sneak out there and get one or two and get out of there, but
this is one of those classic afternoons. You got morning's a little stormy. You got that morning sickness, and then just everything comes together in the afternoon, and we're living it right now.
Yes, we are. And look at this right. Now somebody's gonna find a right here. It's my call.
Jeremy Johnston.
Jeremy goes left, and look at the drive into this coming out of this wave.
He's been waiting for this all heat.
Oh my gosh! He just got caught by the tube monster, as we call it.
So close. 1 minute, 58 seconds remaining. Florida's Jeremy Johnston right there.
You know he was scratching.
That was
clawing to come out of that.
What did he need? A 5.8? Is that right?
Well,
no.
he needs a 7.2.
Sorry, 7.2. Yeah, he would have got the 7 if he came out of that thing easily.
Here's a little wedge on the inside.
Josh Kerr.
Staying busy. Oh, I like the little green emerald barrel. Thank you.
Whoa!
Oh!
Jesus.
Did he hit him?
It's dangerous out there.
Man.
He almost took his head off.
Ay. He didn't even see him, or he would have ollied over.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He would have done the Christian Fletcher ollie right over him.
There's our judging panel right there. To me, it feels like through the past 2 days that the judging has been, really spot on. I've been, I personally think that they've been doing a great job.
Yeah, I think the judges have been really good. I thought it was a little tricky in that heat yesterday with the 6-man heat for the wild cards, because Kawai's wave was so much better than every other wave in that heat.
Yeah.
that was a 10 clearly, and then there was another one that was a 9 something in the heat, which relative to Kawai's maybe wasn't that high, but it was a great ride also. Look at this right. Oh my gosh.
I can't see it on the screen here, but the right, look at this right. Here we go.
Nathan needs a score here.
He needs a 7.69.
And that was his,
well, you know what's going to be interesting?
Wave there. I wish he would have flipped around and gotten that thing.
We've got a couple heats left in the day, and I wonder if we're going to see more guys venture over to back.
Oh, we're going to get backdoor waves. I'm calling it starting this next heat. That was really the first heat I've seen it turn on. And, but there might be another chance here for Nathan. He's probably right there somewhere.
Alex Gray having a paddle.
Alex going, where are you going?
Yep, here we go.
That's
he's deep.
Oh,
is he coming out of this thing?
No, not pulling the Mar Ono. And you got to say, Mar Ono really stepped his game up, hasn't he?
He's a cannonball out there.
Incredible.
Well, there we have it. Another amazing heat in the books. Josh Kerr out front with Alex Gray holding on to that second spot with those backdoor tube rides. The electric replay. Kelly, this is the recap.
Look at the smiles on the faces. Look at this classic pipe wave. And to think that wave scored a 4.8. He just did, it's a matter of inches out here. Josh, really nice little one to start there. Oh, I was thinking his first one was a right. That was it. But look at this thing grow. It's only about a 4-footer. When he takes off, it turns into a 6-footer. Blown out the end. Perfect one on the end.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Willie. More action to come from the Volcom Pipe Pro. We'll be right back after these messages.
And welcome back to the 2013 4th Annual Volcom Pipeline Pro Round of 64, Heat number 10, Olamana Eleogram, Charlie Martin, Steve Pearson out of Tahiti, and Kristen Kimmerson out of Brazil. David Stanfield jumping into the booth, Chris Cote taking a break, and Wooly.
Yes, sir.
This is punishment for Kelly Slater for not entering this event. You have to sit in the booth between us.
It's okay, Kelly.
You can
it's
talk.
Okay.
I can't speak.
It's okay. But hey, you know what?
I'm scratching.
Might not be in heat right now,
twitching.
but hey, man, we're living it. We're living it on this side of the fence.
Oh man,
he's busted out in hives. Hey, I missed what happened.
I would only have 30 minutes anyways. I'm trying to make myself feel better. I'd be watching most of this anyway.
I took a break. How did John do? Did he get a wave?
He left a couple. He left some points out there. He left 0.3 out on the field. He only had a 19.7.
And he's getting ready for his afternoon surf, then they're going to go skating, and then I'm not sure, maybe some beach volleyball. This kid runs off. Here we go. During the break, we did see this, and it looks like a goofy footer. Our lone goofy footer would be Kristen Kimmerson in black.
And there's a great line he drew here, Dave. It was a tricky little wave, and it was kind of one of those high, smaller ones, bending away from you a little bit, but it had a nice clean line if you picked it, and he did.
Did I see puka shells around his neck?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's stoked he got that wave right off the bat. Got rid of the nerves, got a nice barrel, and he's back out.
I used to rock the pukas when I was 13.
Well, yeah.
Hey, they're coming back.
Are they really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Pukas, you see the shorts people are wearing these days?
Yeah, you're making them.
I know. I can't believe it. Yeah. 16, 17-inch shorts, pukas.
That's funny because you were
Fluoro,
like
it's
one of
on.
the first guys to make like 45-inch shorts.
Well, those were the
Or
those were
those.
you know those are the grunge days.
Yeah.
Olamana Eleogram wearing red, the number 16 seed from Hanamaui. Kelly, when's the last time you were in Hanamaui? It's an effort to get there, isn't it?
It is an effort. I don't think I've ever been there.
Amazing road. Definitely you want to drive. You don't want anybody else. Look at the back door, doesn't want it. And at 5, Charlie Martin. Nope.
I'm telling you what.
Who do you think's going to be the backdoor guy? In this
Ola.
heat?
Ola's going to find it. He's going to pick it.
Because
He
we're
knows the
seeing a
wave.
lot of good waves right now coming in.
There's
down
some good backdoor waves. There was a bunch of sneakers in the last. If you went out in that last heat and said, "I'm just going right," you would have won that heat.
there. Now, I got a question for you. Is it turning on right now because the swell's dropping or because the swell is turning more north?
Ola, look at this line. Oh, he had a tough time getting the rail. It just caught him a little, and right there he's on.
He almost came out of that thing.
He was on the edge of getting that line. If his fins didn't just sort of cavitate for half a nothing.
The word cavitate, as even
Cavitate.
John had a little cavitation going on.
Well, he hit more of a bump. Ola's was more of a cavitation, I would say.
You know what? Rumor has it you were in Queensland, Australia, pouring concrete for a new wave pool. You're not helping out with that wave pool?
I don't have the right shorts to work as a construction guy in Australia.
Right now, Kelly Slater's going to interview Josh Kerr right after this wave, and let's see how complimentary and nice Kelly is. Josh, get ready.
Okay, I'll start this. Josh, I hate you. I hate you. You got the
Where
surf.
are you, Kelly? I'm coming to get you.
Yeah, you knocked me out last month. You got the surf today. I'm over you.
I know. Where was your entry?
And
you need to talk to that guy that doesn't put your entries in.
And you got those waves up in that secret spot up near San Francisco.
Yeah, kind of a secret spot in the middle of a city.
Jeez. Okay, that's really all I had to say to you.
Yeah, Josh. Nice heat.
Nice sandbar perfection you had there on that one good one.
Yeah, I know. I was looking for those little sideways benders that would, head towards gums and get that open section.
I will ask you because you always, every time I think I'm getting a good wave, I always say you right there, whether I get it or you get it. Those little ones that sneak by everyone, a lot of those rights. And I saw there was quite a few rights out there. Just wondering if you had your eyes peeled at all, because there were probably at least a half dozen good rights. Maybe you guys were a little deep, like too much on the left.
I did see a couple, and I wasn't in position for any, but I saw a couple where the one Nate went down on was pretty good looking. The one I think could have been the one that Alex got if you were on the backside section of that, backdooring that one looked insane too.
Yeah, there was a good one. Nathan could have got at the end. I don't know if it was you or Alex was right next to him, and I don't know, just one of those ones. 30 seconds ago, he didn't go. But yeah, I was calling. In my head, I was thinking, Josh going to get one of these rights.
I did. After I got my first couple, I'm like, I need to get one good right.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find it. I just got out of position for those ones.
I'm just planting a seed. I know what you're going to do next heat out there. You're going to get about 10 of those things.
Yep. Drop the board size down and try and hunt those rights for sure.
Nice.
Josh,
Good
thank you
job,
so
man.
much for being in this event. Why are you here? You're guaranteed going to be in the Pipe Masters. Are you here to take one step more into that Pipe Masters title? A runner-up this year. Great job. But specifically, the reason for here is getting the experience in pipe?
Yeah, getting the experience. And I've just been surfing in 4.3s and booties and hoods and all that for the last month. And I was just so horny to get into Hawaii in board shorts and get some good waves.
Excellent. Well, that's the right answer. Wooly?
Yeah, Josh. I was just thinking about our little training session up north a couple months ago.
It was almost like this, wasn't it, Wooly?
It kind of was.
It was pretty close, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a little bigger, but it's all good.
Totally, yeah. It was maybe a little bigger today.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, thank you very much, Josh Kerr. You ended up with an 8.10 and a 6.33. Third place, right, Kelly? Third place for Josh Kerr.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Hey, one
more question.
One question I was going to ask you, Josh. Did you think, when you saw it this morning, what did you think compared to what it's done? Because I had no idea it was going to do this.
No, I didn't think it was going to get this good. I was kind of about 2 or 3 hours ago when the wind line was within the lineup, and there was so much ribs and there was all the wash throughs. I'm like, ooh, that looks hard out there. And I went home for an hour and I come back and it was a different day. It's amazing out there right now.
Yeah, go
really
sleep it off and start over.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right,
All right. Well, great
Thanks,
performance out there, and we'll see you in the next heat.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks, Josh, for showing up and being part of this event. Exciting surfer, brilliant stuff going on. In the lineup right now, 2 waves for Charlie Martin, 2 for Kristen Kimmerson. Elio Graham has a 4.50, and Kimmerson's got a 7.0. Those are the 2 best waves ridden. Here we go. Slater looking at the lineup and
Keeps looking at that right. So, Kelly, I had a question earlier. Why do you think there's so many more rights right now?
It's just the interval and the size has gotten to the right zone.
Yeah.
You know, you get that with the northwest swell. You know, it starts to get too small. The lefts don't even exist anymore. You know, you might catch a 4-footer or something. You know, if it's like a 6-foot day in the northwest, its pipe starts to really get small and shut down, and everyone starts looking for those rights.
For the rights.
So it's gone from that 12-foot stuff early this morning, a lot of closeouts, hardly any makeable waves. It's dropped down to that sort of 6 to 8 range, what we call 6 to 8. I don't know why it says that, because if you look at that wave that Alex Gray took off on, that was a 20-foot face. But yeah, when it gets to this size and this interval in this direction, you know, this starts to happen.
The right starts to open up. So tomorrow, if this swell holds, we might see some more rights.
Yeah, we could. But, you know, if you look back at a couple of those heats earlier, gosh, who was out there? Nick Von Rupp, Matt Young.
Elio
Look at
Graham.
this.
And look at this one.
This is a gnarly one into the sandbar, and he just
hung up a little.
Almost did the old Todd Holland. Remember the Todd Holland one? The flip, the El Rolo?
Yeah.
And just a beating.
God,
But,
that's a blast from the past.
Yeah,
I haven't heard his name in a while.
Well, I see Todd a lot. Him and my brother Sean, they live right next to each other, and they're really close friends. And I see Todd all the time when I'm home.
What's
Are
Todd
they
driving?
fishing a lot? What are they up to?
Todd's working on jet skis and monster trucks.
Monster
fishing
truck, yes.
and surfing, shaping boards, and he's actually got a really. He started a cool thing like a surf club in Cocoa Beach where all the kids come once a week on like a Wednesday, I think it is.
Ah, that's cool.
Everyone surfs together, so it's kind of trying to recreate what we had at 3rd Street in Cocoa Beach when we were kids. Everyone would go to this one spot and surf, you know, most days, and it's kind of like you know, just trying to get that vibe back between
Camaraderie
everybody.
again. Yeah, that's good.
How's the statue doing on A1A? Have you seen it lately?
Well,
nobody's putting a flower lei on it or a hat. They've dressed you up. Oh, well, we'll get back to the statue on A1A and the avenue named after you. But Michael Stewart's going to be talking to us now, right? Is that
Mike
is he on
Stewart?
headphones? Mike Stewart?
The Mike Stewart?
That's actually
Talk to
Michael
us.
Stewart.
Michael Stewart.
How's it going, guys? So I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit called Sustainable Surf, and we're actually here at the Volcom Pipe Pro 2013 helping to really help Volcom build a strategy for sustainability for all of their events. So the first one that we did that got the Deep Blue Surfing event certification was the Volcom Fiji Pro, and now we're doing it for a second time at the Pipe Pro. It's even bigger and better, and we're stoked to be here, man. This is what surf contests actually should look like.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty green. What is the website again?
It's actually, you can go to sustainablesurf.org and find out all about the program right there.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you're a phenomenal bodyboarder.
You know how many times I get that?
Every time.
Yeah,
Every time.
Totally.
That's what I was saying. Who?
What a wipeout. How about that guy that goes into the hotel and everybody's disappointed his name is Michael Jordan?
Totally, yeah. You know what? I actually met Mike at a couple of trade shows, you know, kind of a long time back, and I just walked up to him. And he's a huge guy. I mean, he's you know, he's got a wingspan like Peter Mel or something. And I was just like, listen, man, I'm tired of getting mistaken for you. Can you just back off a little bit?
So you met him. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, guys, just sort of a quick kind of rundown. There's a couple big firsts with the greening of this particular event. On the energy side of things, this whole event, the generators that are powering all of our voices and the webcast here is actually being powered by locally sourced and produced biodiesel that actually came from the waste grease from restaurants like Cholo's, or if you went down to L&L, that grease is actually going back in to power this event. So it's lowering the carbon footprint. It's actually building the local economy here. It's giving people jobs. The very first biodiesel production facility in the U.S. was right here in Hawaii. It was right in Maui. And now they got a plant in Maui, they got a plant in Oahu, and then a brand new one on the Big Island. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just styling.
Very impressive as we watch Stephen Pearson out of Tahiti try to make this section.
Yeah,
and
he's
again, great job.
You know, he's pushing his biodiesel out there.
Well, not an easy thing. About 80% is biodiesel in their generators.
Yeah, exactly. There's no issues and there's no problems. I think they just didn't want to have to pump the regular diesel out, so they're like, hey, there's some in there, just pour the biodiesel in, and we'll just call it 80%. So,
it's such a huge story. That's the first time that this has actually happened in a surfing event, in an ASP event in Hawaii, and it's a big plus and it's a big change. And at this point, we think, working with Sean Wingate and the folks from the Triple Crown, that we're going to try to have this as something that's going to happen for all the big surf events happening from here on out.
Thank you, Michael Stewart. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Pacific Biodiesel running these generators at this event with restaurant waste grease.
I like that.
But you know
That's
what?
cool.
Taylor Knox knows about that, doesn't he?
Well, ask Taylor about that and get the story.
Okay, get the story.
Does he have a car that's run on
He's
that?
got well, he's got a car with this giant tank that has all this fuel, and somehow it wasn't working. So he's got to get it sorted out. He does have it.
He's got it. Okay.
It stopped
Well,
working correctly.
what happens when you can't find the restaurant grease?
Well, you go to restaurant. Basically, instead of gas stations, you're looking for restaurants.
You go to restaurants, and I think you just filter it. I don't know the process, actually.
I
so
wonder
I'll
how
keep
many
my mouth
miles
shut,
to the
but
gallon you get. It's got to be. Maybe it's different.
I think
Wow,
it's
this
sort
girl's
of
taking a
comparable.
picture.
I remember Taylor telling me, and he had it so he could drive down to Baja and it would supplement his fuel, and it gave him like almost double the range of what he had, so he could basically drive all week and not worry about finding a gas station to refuel.
Not bad.
Oh,
And he could drive
good.
around town and just go to
Be the guy.
go grab the stuff from the restaurants, which is cool.
Kristen Kimmerson is your leader, a goofy footer out there with a 7.0, and his backup wave is a 0.93. The judges have to give a score on basically every wave they drop in, whether their hands leave the rail or not. A lot of big jumps and drops. Kelly, we saw some of these guys take hair-raising drops and get closed out.
Look at this
Here is
one.
Kimmerson again, looking to get rid of that 0.93.
God,
Kelly,
he is
sweet wave.
Sweet wave, and it was kind of similar to the other one.
Yeah, he's finding
in
these
that he
little
found that
gems.
one that kind of tried to pinch on him, and he took the high line, made it through. Look at this one.
Charlie Martin takes
Charlie.
the drop.
This guy can ride a barrel, and he could have been a little deeper there to be, if you're going to be critical. But he did real well to brush off the speed and hold himself back in that pocket the way he did.
Well,
And,
he's going to need that wave. You can see he's only got two kind of low-scoring waves, so that's definitely going to better his position.
Charlie Martin looking for a 3.98 on this wave
So he
right here to
stuck the
overtake
nose,
Eliogram.
Put the pressure on the inside of the back fin, and really slowed himself down there. Good control, and it was just a hard line right there to make, and kind of threw his balance off at the bottom. But got a nice little turn to finish, and here's the first one. This is what I was saying about he got the similar one to start. See how it's kind of almondy, kind of a high tube, not like a classic pipe barrel, but a really good wave for a heat. And I would take that thing. I'd be super happy with that wave right
Can I
about
get one of
now.
those right now?
That's a great
Pay
ride.
good money for that.
That's probably going to easily put him up into first, and he'll be controlling this heat now.
We are watching the round of 64, heat number 10. There is 8 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, and this guy is going to take it on the head. Our surfer in blue, Stephen Pearson. He knows how to do it, though. Have you surfed with Stephen in Tahiti with Michelle Barrera, Stephen, a local down there?
Yeah, I've surfed with all those guys because as soon as the contest is over, it gets crazy crowded.
Well, you know where to go, and they take you to the secret spots.
Yeah. But gosh, there was that wave right there you just saw on the screen was a real similar one to the one Josh got, but not as easy a takeoff.
And look at this.
And is this
back.
Ola? Look at almost
Ola.
losing the rail there, and look at this frothy thing.
Holding on. Oh!
Grab rail
Side
slip.
slipping right there.
Right down into the sandbar section. You can't tell from watching on screen, but from where we're at, you can see clearly that's those waves all shifted real far towards the channel. And it's a different bit of reef. It's a little less predictable because sometimes there's sand, sometimes there's not sand. You don't know if the wave's going to close out. And watch the rail work here. Almost lose it there. He's trying to chop some speed off, and then he's right in that pocket. And you can see the whitewater kind of took his shoulder and threw his balance off.
Just kind of the fins released.
Kelly, first person you saw do proper and maybe a life-changing pig dog type
Michael Ho.
Michael Ho.
No doubt about it.
With the cast.
With the
Remember
cast,
that?
Early 80s. What was that? 83 or 5 or 2 or something. I don't know. But
Remember that as a kid. I had a picture of that in my room. Just had the cast, the broken arm. He won that event, didn't he?
he won that event, and yeah, it was him, and then there was Marvin Foster would do the no hand, and no hand backside barrel ride. He'd just kind of stand there, drop his back arm.
How about
just
Bird?
kind of stand there. Bird Myalona?
Yeah.
Bird, oh, look at this thing off the wall. I think there's Reef McIntosh.
Scores are in
sneaking
right
down
now.
the line.
Kimmerson gets a 6.73. Eliogram holds on to that second spot. Not
Who do
by
we got?
much. Charlie
straight out in front. Look at
this thing.
Kimmerson.
Get up into it. Get up into it.
And yeah, he just would have wanted to be a little further out the back to start that wave. Nice.
He's
cutback
he's
here.
surfing this.
Oh, he surfed that wave perfectly.
Heck yeah, double.
Charlie Martin.
Look at this out the back.
He's
Get
going to
in
do
there.
that bottom turn, brush off some speed, just stand in the pocket, and nice little air out the back.
I mean, these guys are just having a
this is
heyday
joke.
out here. Really?
It's a
Is this
joke.
really
Look how-
happening?
It's crazy because, and all these guys, they're just sitting out there going, God, we normally are out here with, 50, 70 guys, and it's better than it's been probably. This is one of the better days of the winter now. I'm calling this one of the best days I've seen all winter for sure, and it's the least crowded day I've seen all winter.
Yeah.
I asked Alex Gray and Dave Wassel in the lineup, the pecking order, if there's a lineup and there's a lot of locals who would get first choice, and they had no problem answering that. The pecking order of respect of guys that were in position to go, who you let go. Kelly,
Here at Sebastian?
No, right here.
At the bonsai.
Yeah, it's kind of you just feel it out, when you spend a lot of time out here, you start to feel out whether it's kind of your turn, if you're, or if it, a lot of times there's guys who are clearly sitting in the right spot, they know the wave, and it's, the pack of the boys, and they
talk
guys
it out.
They put their time in out here, and they put themselves in the right position. But, I've also seen guys, that you wouldn't know who they are, and they come out and you can see they know what they're doing, and they read the wave right, and they put themselves in the right position, and the boys, all the guys out here are like, go, you're on this
Working
thing.
your way into the lineup.
Working your way in, but it's not a not a taking
this.
it over. It's a joining it. You're joining in with the whole thing happening out there. And there's a nice. God, that wave was a classic wave.
I
he
like
took
that
off.
little double hand kind of grab to slow him down.
It was a nice turn he threw
Look
in
at
here
this.
too. I mean,
Ooh.
I think the finishing turn out here is underrated. It's a waste of the wave if you kick out. I think.
Really in comfortable position. Kristen Kimmerson, KK they call him, 20 years of age, comes in at the number 54 seed, the goofy footer, the lone goofy footer in the lineup, has got another good wave. It looks like he might try to challenge to replace his 6.73. In the second spot, holding on, it's an 8.17 to an 8.10. Charlie Martin trying to overtake.
Charlie from the Caribbean.
Legram, yes.
Guadeloupe.
Have you been there surfing
No,
some
but
secret spots?
I know there's some good waves. I was in Barbados last week, and I was wondering, gosh, I wonder what's going on in Guadeloupe, because the wind was a little tricky in Barbados.
That's one of your favorite spots.
It is.
Barbados.
It is when the wind's right, but that's a rarity. It's always, the wind is stronger than here and more predictably onshore.
Are there sea urchins in Barbados?
Oh,
gosh.
Not like Puerto Rico, but
Look at
there's
this
a lot.
one. Here we go.
Charlie.
Nice little
This is a
nugget.
nice little replay
This is
here.
a great wave to catch in the heat right here. Get your score up, solidify a position. He only needs a 2.57 to move into second.
I mean, these guys right now, they're going, I'm in a heat. It's firing. I'm having a great time. I mean, you look like Crystal, what he's doing. I mean, he's not going to let anything go to waste. Talk about sustainability. He sees that little, section at the end. He's just going to rip a turn off it.
Yeah, Christian.
You're not letting that go and kicking out.
No, and that's good. One thing I learned early on out here was, before I really knew Mark Cunningham, the one thing about the body surfers, they always talk about they're the bottom of the pecking order. They're bottom dwellers, So they're always the last in line to get the wave because where they can catch it and how far they can make it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you see these guys get these great waves, get the barrel, go right past the body surfers and kick out. And then, oh, look at this right. I told you.
There
Ola's
it is.
going to find
starting. It's starting.
it. I told you. Look at this thing.
Nice.
That
Is
thing's
he coming
going
out?
forever. He's coming out of that thing.
Well, you can't give a 10,
Wait
an
a
11 or 12, but what do you think, Kelly?
Well,
spectacular wave.
That was a great wave. I knew he'd find one.
And that's going to change his position big time.
He was looking. He was sniffing it out. He almost could get back out. Had he tried right there, I think he would have made it had he kicked out. But he probably was like, you know what? If that didn't get me through the heat.
Let's count the seconds he disappears from the
this
judges.
is in slow-mo.
Well, right now, the judges probably can't see him.
Just
from
weaving,
this
looking like
camera
Sean Thompson on this
Oh, it was
one.
a great wave, and he just almost got taken out there. And he's just like, get me out of this thing. Let me get my score. And
He's
get
in
to the
third right
beach.
now.
That's
a
great angle.
5.38 is what he needs, but you know what? A 9.23 would take him into the lead.
He got a 10.38 right there. No, that's going to be a 9. It's going to be in the 9 zone.
And he knows it. Just smooth sailing.
The only
now.
thing missing there was it wasn't the biggest wave he could have caught, but it was deep. He's pumping through it. It spit. There was like 3
Judge.
long sections to it. Oh, there you go.
Hawaiian judge.
It's almost there.
We're waiting. We're waiting
Newport
for the rest
judge
of the
10-0.
scores.
There's a 9-8
Well,
from
so
a Brazilian
it
judge.
could be a 10 then, couldn't
Yep.
it?
Oh, no, it isn't.
9-9-3. I thought it was maybe just going to fall short just because it wasn't the biggest wave, but that's a 9-9-3. Two judges gave it a 9-5 and a 9-8. 3 gave it a 10. I mean, look, that's a perfect backdoor wave all day long. I mean, the only thing you could say is maybe it could have found a bigger one, but there hasn't been those big ones in this heat.
Well, popped him right from third right into first place.
Now he's in the lead by 0.70. Charlie Martin drops to third right now. Charlie needs an 8-1-3. Pearson is needing a combination of 2 scores, so it's Kimmerson versus Martin in the lineup with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining, and the beach announcers are telling them.
That's that's the local knowledge, I think. That's the difference with these guys that surf out here all the time. Ola, I saw him looking in that heat at a number of different rights where he didn't go, and what did I say in the beginning? He's going to find one, because they're out there, and the guys that know this wave are going to find it, and that's also, I mean, he came out of the thing and goes, I'm making this heat. I'm paddling in. I'm not going to risk breaking my board and getting stuck inside for 3 minutes.
He knew. Why go back out? Right?
Charlie Martin needs this wave. He needs an 8.13, and I don't know, it might be too much of a task to go backdoor. Here's Charlie Martin.
25 seconds. Here we go.
How quickly things can change, right?
Now or never.
Charlie deep. Is he coming out?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great finish right there.
Needs an 8.13.
I'll tell you what, after Ola's close to 10, that's gonna.
What do you think?
That's
LA
gonna
close?
change the scale a little bit there. That's gonna make it tougher for him to get that score. But that was a great barrel to finish your heat.
Pretty amazing stuff. One question for Kelly Slater, real quick, before we get to the highlights. Kelly, are you going to be surfing Fiji this year?
Fiji.
Many times. Oh, well, no. In terms of the
are you coming to
Fiji
the contest?
Pro.
We're not putting you on the spot or anything.
We're not putting you on the spot, but this is a trick question. Are you going to be surfing?
I believe I'll be in Fiji.
Excellent. Hey! He made a decision.
I believe I will be in.
I believe. You sound like a lawyer.
I believe I will.
You guys, we're gonna play last of white. This is a critical wave. Charlie Martin needs an 8.13
right at the
to
buzzer.
overtake Kimmerson.
Right at the buzzer here.
Oh, look, he's on the foam ball.
And
I mean, look,
deep,
you couldn't have ridden that wave any deeper, any better. Kind of reminded me of a little Dusty Payne barrel right there.
Oh yeah.
Kind of has the blonde hair look too. Bang.
Oh yeah.
And that was a.
Well, the judges have got their work cut out for them on this one.
They
what do you think?
I think it might just fall a little short just because the wave wasn't it one of those real big ones we've seen all day.
Well, talk us through these beautiful water shots.
See how deep he was on that one to start the heat? And that was a 7-point ride. This one was a 6.73. I think that last wave was better than this wave was, but that was only a 6.73. That's a great drop.
We're going to go out. It looks like Charlie Martin does not get the score. Kristen Kimmerson, Olamana Eliogram advance through. We'll be right back. Thank you, Kelly Slater.
Thanks, guys.
He literally wanted the world's biggest wave.
He was a very powerful man, but he never channeled it in a way where it was angry.
Never would have an attitude towards anybody, but he was the gnarliest dude I've ever seen ever take a beating, pull in, whatever, and come back out and want more. When everybody else would just paddle one way and sets were coming that I don't even know how big, but just so big, like the best guys in the world just curling, and then Sion just being right there at the peak and just straight into it.
People had set the bar before him, and he just broke those boundaries and sailed way beyond them.
Charging and everything, that's one thing. His game out of the water was 10 times what it was in the water. And I have to say I always viewed his relationship with his family and what they had going on as like a model for myself one day. He was a great family man, and he charged harder than anybody.
Pleasure and pain at the pipeline. There are some spectacular waves out there. Light trades blowing in the house right now. It is Healy and Slater taking command. They have booted out everybody else. Yeah. I'm luckily in there with some guys. I got to tell you, Nathan Hedge took a beating on Monday before even 7 o'clock. No board, just a leash in hand, stitches to his head, just 2 staples. But I'm telling you, the bruising below is pretty serious. He showed me too much. Really purple down below. He took internal injuries, but he's out in the water. Nathan Hedge, and he did this before. Remember our early morning pipe session where he dislocated his arm?
Yeah,
I'm not talking to Tahiti. I'm talking here.
Well, I'm still thinking about Ola's wave in that last heat.
Oh, you're jealous of that?
No, I'm excited that he found that he went and got that right, and that was awesome. But Hedgie charges. Hedgie, he loves a challenge. He goes. You know, he's super headstrong, and he goes straight for challenges. He loves it.
Craziest thing Hedge has done for those early morning go-outs. Oh, Kelly's looking now at the sandbank. There's an A-frame peak. In the water, Patrick Kadauskas, Nathan Hedge, Dale Staples in blue, and Charlie Boy Carroll, who's had a great run. Charlie in the black singlet.
Wow, these sets are coming right into the button.
That thing is, this one's coming from deep, and that, you know, now and then a couple sets still are, I don't know if they're getting swung off the outside reef or what, but some are coming a little bit more west, it looks like, this afternoon.
Well, let's go down to the 26-year-old Hanamaui local Olamana Elio Graham. Boy, what a great job. Congratulations. How classic is pipe today for a contest?
Oh, my God. Pipe is so good today. And I was just, I don't know, I was riding my 610 all week, and then I cracked the fin and just saw it today right before my heat. So I jumped onto my little thinner 6.8, and I just couldn't come out of any of the pipe ones. I kept getting a couple and just getting swallowed, so I was starting to buckle, and then I seen that right come last minute. Oh, look at the set.
Call it.
Oh, the falls. Oh, it's a bomb set.
And another one out the back.
It's firing right now, and I'm just so glad that I made that heat because I had the jitters and how that right came, and I was just looking left. I didn't want to look right because I knew I was going right, and I wanted to fake everybody off. Charlie was coming out from the left and looking at the right, and I just pretended like I was going left. He pulled back, and I just swung to the right, and I just raced the whole way, and then yeah.
Watch this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that wave is good.
We got a lot of base jumpers out there. Kelly Slater has a question for you. Kelly, commentating.
Hola, did you catch my ESP out there when your heat started? I was talking about the rights, and Dave goes, well, what do you think? Is somebody going to find one? I said, Ola's he's going to find one out there for sure.
Right on. Well, yeah, you know, I always go looking for rights, but it looks so good at pipe. I saw John. I'm like, okay, this is my chance to get a good pipe one, and it just wasn't today, but hey, good old faithful backdoor got me through.
I will say that the end of your wave, we're watching it now online. I don't know if you have a monitor, but at the very end of your wave, it looked to me like you were just like, get me out of this thing. Get me out of this thing.
I was trying to get out from way before I came out. I was trying to get out of there, and it kept just barreling it. Like normally I would have just been stalling, trying to keep in it as long as it's going. I'm like, get me out of here, get me out of here.
You're not waiting for that thing to pinch on you on the end.
It wouldn't let me out, but hey,
sick one, man.
Perfect.
What a sick finish. That was awesome.
That was a no claim, and you look back to the judges, that was some beautiful stuff.
Hey, I didn't know what I needed or anything. I just knew that I wasn't making it.
You just needed to make it. That's all. You just needed to come out.
Name all your brothers and sisters. Listen to this.
Okay, my oldest sister is Alohi. My older brother is Benel. My younger brother is Wheela with a baby. And actually my older sister has a baby too. And then my youngest brother is Makana. He's over here and he surfed yesterday, lost out, and then I have the youngest sister, Zoe.
Wow. That's a family of 600 in Maui. Great job. And
right on. Thank you guys.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
hey, guess what? You get to surf tomorrow possibly.
Stoked.
And unbelievable stuff. Yeah, Kelly Slater was watching those rides frothing, and he's up here. He's got hives right now in the booth with Healy. What have you seen Healy do that's impressed you? I know you're impressed, and you have a lot of fun with Shane Dorian, but Healy has done some special stuff.
He does. He has enough hair to tie it up here. I was impressed by that.
Yeah.
I was jealous.
God, I was trying to hide with that hairdo down the beach.
What do you mean? I saw you at Waimea with that two nights ago.
I do it right before I go out, so it gets wet and it's down and less people.
Is it kind of a ninja thing?
Look at this thing. Come on.
Oh gosh. Here is Nathan Hedge.
Healy would go.
Look at the guys in the water, the water photographers and a couple of body surfers trying to scramble off to the side. And look, we do have some free surfers deep in the lineup but off the wall.
Oh my God.
They're actually shallow in the lineup at back door is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, they're in the competition because Kelly would be surfing down there. Kelly, you definitely go down there quite a bit.
Oh, there's Carroll, broken board.
Elio Graham gets a pretty spectacular wave, and we're going to get the official results. And he's second.
Oh, white ball. How many broken boards is that today?
I think we're up to 8.
Shane once went to Chopo, Shane Dorian, and I think he broke 3 boards and 3 waves.
That sounds
I think I was there. I seen him go over the lagoon.
Borrowing boards, right?
Yeah.
Olamana Eliogram, a 9.93 and a 4.50. Kristen Kimmerson advances as well with a 7.0 and a 6.73. Charlie Martin came close. He had a 12.83 two-wave total. Steve Pearson with a 3.60. In the lineup, Patrick Gadauskas, the 27-year-old from San Clemente. And Patrick,
we're
number 8
going to be
seed.
seeing him getting some good waves, I think, in this heat. God, I feel for Charlie Boy. I mean, knowing that you could be out in the lineup with 3 other guys this firing and you're swimming for a broken board, that's got to be rough.
Let's ask Mr. Healy. We asked Kelly Slater right here. We said, Kelly, are you going to be surfing the Volcom Fiji Pro? Guess what he said?
Yes.
Duh.
Duh. That's what I said. Duh.
Just about done. Surfer in white, Nathan Hedge going after it here. First wave.
Edgy, kind of a small one on the end. Just a heat starter, really. Not really much of a tube. Just kind of just getting his feet wet. You don't ever know with these waves. Like, yeah, it's been perfect. There's been some giant scores. Last heat or two hasn't quite seen as many of those big scores, though. You know, Ola's heat, he had there was only the one big score, maybe a couple of 7s or high 6s in there. But, you know, John's heat seemed to peak, and, you know, or did the waves peak, or was it John? You tell me, Healy.
He's kind of got that mojo, you know, waves just kind of start coming to him.
Hopefully, Kelly, you'll get that mojo sometimes.
Occasionally, the waves are not bad in my heats.
Here we go. Let's look to the
on here?
inside. It is Nathan Hedge.
Nathan,
Wow,
he sees
up
one of
again.
those little nuts. Oh, man.
Nathan, as he paddles back out.
Kind of a bizarre choice by him. But I guess he was just on the way back out. But, I mean, that could have been a broken board right there easily. On a little, it was going to be a short too, but I know Hedgie, he likes to get a start in the heat. He likes to get out ahead and then work his magic. You know, he likes to kind of create a position so he's not pressured by other people and he can put that pressure.
Yeah, out of anybody in this heat, Hedgie probably has the most heat surfing process. He's a real veteran and probably sticks to his game plan.
You know, oh gosh.
Oh my God.
All sorts of things
Why
happening.
aren't people sitting? People are kind of getting stuck wide. It's
no one's on the
now.
boil. Watch the boil. These guys, the free surfers, are actually at backdoor. I'm baffled that the commentators haven't yelled them, or somebody yelled at them to move down, because they're not on off the wall. They're at the free surfers are in the lineup at pipe and backdoor, and they probably know it. They're not saying anything. What's going on here?
Can you spot who they are?
Reef Macro.
Exactly.
No, I can't see Reef at all.
Charlie Carroll in the
Actually,
lineup.
is Reef out there? I
Going to
don't
get
even
back
know.
out. Our surfer in black. Well, he opened up with a 0.23 and a broken board. For Nathan Hedge, a 1.57 and then a beating, a 0.20. And it's Gadauskas with a 3.67. That's the best wave so far, and a 0.3. It's just really not the tail of the tape. Everything's really spectacular here. The best waves we've seen today, well, we've got a couple of 10s. Nat Young and John Florence coming close, but Nat Young with a 10.
And Mar had a close one, didn't he? Mar had a high scorer wave, and there were some great waves today. And you see, days like this, you see a lot of standouts. One guy that's a huge standout in my eyes. He's a top 10 pipe surfer at this point, is Anthony Walsh. I think he didn't advance earlier, but Walsh has put on some performances in the last year or two out here. You know, if you're just here watching, if you pull up Surfline, there was a little clip of him having a bunch of waves on one day.
Did you see Monday's wave?
Oh yeah, but that's just an example of one of the, many guys that are so good out here. But I think Mar Ono Mastoshi really surprised everyone today, because they haven't equated his name with that, but he showed what he's capable of. And just go through the list of guys today that have been charging, all sorts of guys.
Let's check in with Jason Shibata right now. Jason, who do you have?
How's it, Dave? I'm down here with Koa Rothman, one of the standouts of the event thus far. Koa, you had, you surfed some challenging conditions here at Pipeline. Tell us, how important it is to have an event like this to surf at your home, and just about surfing Pipeline in general.
I think this event's good because, I surf pipe every day with at least 80 to 100 guys out, and this contest, it gives the locals a chance to actually get to surf with only 3 other guys, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. Welcome to a good thing.
And we got a little surprise for you. We got Chris Cote behind you.
Holy shit!
Oh!
Hey, well, we know you had a rough heat. We wanted to give you a little pick-me-up. You were charging all winter, got some sick shots, and congratulations. Cover Transworld Surf, next issue.
Thank you.
What do you think, brother?
Oh my God. Thanks, Brent, Chris, Justin, everybody at Transworld. Fucking.
Well, this is shot by your friend over here, Brent Bielman. Congratulations to you two. It all came together at Pipeline.
Yeah, Cole. Congratulations, Cole.
Well, Koa Rothman right there. Koa from Sunset Beach, 19 years of age, a great goofy footer following in the family's footsteps, and his older brother, well,
that is an absolute keg.
That's
on
a
that
nice
photo.
bonus.
And I remember watching him get that wave. I was body surfing, and he got that one and just drained out, and I told him, well, you definitely got a shot at that one. Got a cover.
Wow, that's a sick cover, huh?